Alright then guys, welcome back to another video from Reef Drama. Today we have the latest Jecod DMP 30. I was a little bit out there, but here, DMP 30, look. Dry side, wet side, Ecotech clone, Ecotech copy. You decide. But we're going to get into it. We're going to open up the box. We're going to have a look at it. We're also going to get it wet. We're going to sort of have a look at the wave patterns and the strength going across this near 5 foot wide tank. And I'll do a separate video on the app and how to navigate that because it's a little bit buggy. But this one is suitable for marine and for fresh water. It is 25 watts in power and 15,000 litres per hour. I will put the information up for the other ones, but there is also a DMP 10, a 20 and a 40. Information on the screen right now, hopefully. So, not really much to say about the box, but it's well packaged. It did come in full bubble wrap, but I've already removed that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the camera around, get you in closer, and have a look at what I'm looking at, and we'll do this unboxing as quick as we can and actually get to the product. So let's go. Right then guys, so let's open this up like so and have a little look in here. We have got instruction manuals in Chinese. We have got user manuals, instruction manual in English, so you can see it's got all the information in there about the app, about the different functions. What else? A couple of other little certifications, and whoo, there it is. Let's start here. So we have got UK power plug, very handy. Usual kind of J Bauer, Jecod power sort of bricks, as along with pretty much most other ones as well. This one is a GVE AC DC adapter. So we've got our power supply anyway. We have also got the wet side. Very nice. Got the cups, 4 suction cups on there. So obviously when it's on the side of the tank, on the glass, when you remove the dry side or the wet side, because they're both going to have suction cups on, then they're going to stay on the actual glass and they're not just going to like fall off because you've obviously removed the magnet. So that's good. There's a little bit, that sort of obviously has that little movement inside, but the shaft will go all the way through, so that shaft will be keeping that rock steady. So we'll have a little look at that in a minute. We've also got some 3M double-sided sticky tape stuff there, and some wire clips, you know, just to kind of help you with your wire management. We got the controller. I'll just take this out of the packaging here and take that off. Nice. And make sure that you can see that. So yeah, that's nice controller. I do like the fact that it has the on and off button there, or standby button in the middle. And then obviously you've got your arrows up and down for your speed, low, obviously high, and then we can change our different modes as well. So that's good. We can also remove this as well, so that you've just got the bracket, which you can then screw up onto your cabinet or onto the wall, or if you wanted to, I guess, then there is a couple of indentations on the back that I guess you could probably put a hole through both of those maybe, and then a little tiny countersunk screw, which will then hold that in place for your controller to clip into, but it's entirely up to you, I guess, how you want to do that. We've also got in here the dry side, and this has, I believe, this is a 6-foot cable on here, but again, you see you've got the 4 suction cups, some nice weight to that, so that's pretty good. It's probably a good job it has got the suction cups on, because as soon as you remove the wet side to clean it, what we don't want is obviously for this to drop. So Yeah, very nice, very weighty. It looks like this cap here with the suction cups on is the same as this one on here, which you can obviously remove completely, and this would be for cleaning purposes. You can also remove this outer protection part just by twisting it and then pulling it out like so, and you'll notice there that the shaft stays on there. This is obviously a bit loose and wobbly in there, but as soon as it goes onto there, then that is going to secure it nicely anyway. But you obviously have to clean your prop in place there. So that's, pop that back on there. So that's good. Screw that up. And what else did I say we got? Oh, we've got to put that plastic rubber cap back on the back there. That's it. So what we'll do now, I think, is we'll kind of get it set up and we'll get it in the tank. Right then, guys. So as you can see, we have now got the Wavemaker in the tank. We got the dry side, wet side. Back to the dry side, and then I've just basically wired this in just to a plug that's behind me. So as you can see, we got the control panel here. We are currently on the mode 1, which is the classic wave, and we're at 30%. Now that's the speed. So if we want to increase the speed, then we were just going to go up like so with our up arrow. Increase it up to say 40, or we can decrease it back down to speed 30. At the top here, the pause, that's for your feeding, and then the MS part of that that button is for the master control. So that's whether you've got like two or three of these. Then you can link those together so that you've got like a master one, and then you're going to have a slave one as well. As I've already mentioned before, we've got the standby button in the middle there, which is pretty good, just so as we can turn it off like so. Just a quick press turns it off, and then another quick press turns it on. On the digital display there, we've got the time, top right hand corner, and we've also got the little Bluetooth symbol to show that it is connected to Bluetooth. Now with the mode and the frequency down here, so at the moment we're on mode 1, so if we wanted to change that to the sine wave, which is mode 2, I would press the top part of the button, and then you can see we've got mode 2 now, so that's now on the sine wave. And then if we want to adjust the frequency of it, we press the long press at almost at the bottom, and then the frequency can be adjusted. So we're at 70%, we can drop this frequency down to say 60, 50, and then that's going to adjust your kind of wave pattern, so to speak. And then you leave it for a few seconds, and then it will go back to the setting that it was showing you, which is the speed. So again, if you wanted to increase that speed, then we just go up to say 40% on the speed itself. Now your mode 3 is the constant wave mode. Mode 4 is random, and then mode 5 is the cross flow mode. But again, that's one or more pumps. So I suppose you can do it on one pump, but it's probably better if you've got two pumps really for that to run. Feed mode, I think I've already mentioned, that's the pause button, so we can press and hold that. So that's like a long press, and then it will go into the feed mode. So if I do that, press and hold, and then you've got 10 minutes. So that looks like from the controller it's set to 10 minutes. So you might have to go into the app to be able to change that if you wanted it longer. We can lock the keys off as well by pressing a long press on both of the arrows up and down. Press and hold. And then we've now got, if you can just see it under the time there, there's like a little padlock. So that's locked the keys off, and then long press again, and then the little padlock has disappeared. So let's get this back onto a mode. So we're going to change the mode
to mode, let's go to mode 1, and I'm going to cancel off the feed, long press, because I don't want to wait 9 more minutes. So we're back on mode 1, which, as I mentioned, is the classic wave mode, and we're at 42% speed. So let's bring you back up and show you in the tank itself. Hopefully you can sort of see we've got a little bit of movement on the top of the water surface, and if I bring in the control panel at the same time and keep an eye on the water surface, let's increase the speed as we go. So let's put it up to, say, 60, and we got a bit more water movement there. And then we put it, let's go all the way up to 100. We'll press and hold, and then it takes us all the way up to 100. And then you're going to see then that there's going to be more water movement. And if we change the mode to, we'll go to M3. So that's constant. And then you can see there, it's quite a lot now of water surface movement, and it is going all the way through to the end. Although with the window there, you're probably not going to see it that well, unfortunately. But yeah, it's certainly kicking out a lot of power there, and that's definitely moving. Everything's all moving around. You can see all the mushrooms are moving. Everything. If I put this controller down and move you over this way, let's have a little look at this side. And there is a bit of water movement up there, but I do also have the Eggcrate in, so that's probably preventing it a little bit. And we have got a bit of movement there as well with the Kenya tree. Now, just very quickly with this Eggcrate, Pine is on one side, everybody else is on the other side, and it was because I found out that this guy here, the blue hippo tang, was nipping at his tail fin. So Piney wasn't very happy, as you can probably imagine. He had his tail curled and he was hiding a lot. The blue regal tang, the hippo tang, was nipping away at his tail fin. So you might be able to see where he's kind of like had a little go at it. It is healing now, so I'm going to keep him here, certainly for the time being, until we sort of, we get the fish house all sorted. And then eventually Piney will be moving out there anyway. So he won't be with the blue regal tang anymore. Now, what I'm looking for on the table here, and I don't know where it's gone, is the tape measure. Let me just find the tape measure. Right, okay, so found the tape measure, and then what I wanted to do was just show you guys how far out from the tank this is actually sticking out. So remember, this is the DMP 30, and we are out from the edge of the tank by 2.5 inches. So if this is going to be going on the back of the tank, which is where mine is going, as you can see, I do have enough space. I've got about just over 5 inches from the wall to the back of the tank, and that's mostly because if I put the light on down here, you'll see I've got this this kind of like cage here, and the electrics are on top of that cage, and then I've got like a little plastic perspex lid that sits over the top of it. So if any splashes occur, then it's not going to go onto that power socket that's down there, that 4-way. So that's how far that's sticking out. So as I mentioned, you're looking at about 2.5 inches there. That is sticking out from the side of the glass, but it's well and truly on there anyway. It's definitely not coming off. So if I turn the power off, we'll just switch it off at the wall, and then we're going to remove this with the suction cups. Let me try and, there we go. So that's now off, and then because obviously that's got suction cups, that has stayed in place. Perfect. So obviously the other way would happen is if you had your power adapter. God, that magnet is pretty strong. And this is 19mm glass. So that's, there we go. So that's on there. So again, with that being on there, if you take the wet side off to clean it, then your dry side is going to stay in place and it's not going to fall on the floor, especially if you forget. So, okay, let's bring you back to me, and we'll just finish off with a couple of other things. All right then, guys. So hopefully you've enjoyed that video anyway of having a look at the new Jecod DMP 30 with the wet and the dry side. So really excited to actually be able to get it. Now I purchased this from AliExpress, and for delivery it cost me, including delivery, I think it was £124.99 UK pence. So, you know, that's a lot cheaper, I'm sure, than the equivalent Ecotech MP 30. As I say, I've never had Ecotech pumps before, but I do know that they are quite expensive, and hopefully this is now going to be something that you know, I may very well get a second one. My plan is to have ideally 2 on the back wall either side of the weir, obviously facing forwards. I've already got the cross waves at either end anyway, so you know, that's kind of that's doing obviously a really good job with that. But I just wanted a little bit more coming through from the rear to the front, especially if I get into some SPS, once obviously Piney has moved out to his new tank, which is going to be in the fish house. And on that, if you haven't already seen, then you can have a little look at the videos that I'm putting out with regards to the build of the fish house. And if I spin you around, then you'll be able to see it out there in the garden. And as you can see, at the moment, I'm kind of in the process of getting all the insulation in and flooring down and vapor barriers and goodness knows what else. But yeah, that's the fish house, and that is eventually where Piney is going to end up in his tank with the orange shoulder tang, and then we'll also be adding more fish to them as well, once obviously they've gone through quarantine. And the same with this, we're going to be getting new fish for this again once they've gone through quarantine, then they'll be going in there as well. And don't forget the clowns can finally move upstairs from the sump into the main tank, so that will be great. Really looking forward to getting the clowns up there and on show, because we can't really see them that much whilst they're in the sump, of course. So yeah, so if you've liked this video, don't forget, give us a thumbs up and also subscribe as well if you're not already subscribed to my channel. I will be putting out a separate video with regards to the app navigation of this unit. So you've sort of seen it on the control panel, but you can also do it on the app as well if you want to, and you can certainly program the unit through the app to kind of have different modes throughout the day and different flow percentages and frequency and all that sort of stuff. Add in a feeding time, you know, for when your auto feeders kick off. So that will be on a separate app. So look out for that when that comes out, I should say. And yeah, that's pretty much it from me. So thanks very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.
Easy go.